Welcome everyone. In this session, let us see few numericals on a signal flow graph. So first question is, construct this signal flow graph from the describing equations. We have three equations given, that is x2 is equal to a1 to x1 plus a3 to x3, x3 is equal to a13 x1 plus a23 x2 plus a33 x3, x4 is equal to a24 x4 plus a34 x3. So first to construct the signal flow graph, as I have already explained in the theory, first we need to determine the nodes. Nodes are nothing but the system variables. So you can observe here we have four system variables, that is x1, x2, x3 and x4. So we have four nodes for this particular equation, given set of equations. So we have four nodes, that is system variables x1, x2, x3 and x4, and this a12, a32, a13, a23, a33, a24 and a34 represents the branch gains. Okay, represents the branch gains. So using these three differential equations, we will construct the signal flow graph. So we have these equations here. So first we will represent the nodes, that is x1, x2, x3 and x4. So, the first node is x1, second node x2, third node x3, fourth node x4. Okay, these are the nodes. So what is the first equation? x2 is equal to a1 to x1 plus a3 to x3. So now x2 is, you have two signals coming, that is one is from x1, the other one is from x3. So x2 is equal to a12 into x1. So we have the signal coming from x1, the branch gain is a12. One more coming from x3, the branch gain is a32. So we have a32. This is the branch gain. So we have our second equation, which is x3 equal to a13x1 plus a23x2 plus a33x3. So first one, a13x1. So it is from the first node, it is to x3. So we have the gain as a13. Next is a23x2. a23x2, that is from x2. So this is a23. Next we have a33x3. So it is clear that it is starting from the same node and ending at the same node. So it is a self loop. It is a33. Next one is x4. x4 is a24. It is x2. Okay, not x4. Sorry, it is x2, and this is a34x3. So here one is a34x3, the other one comes from x2, which is equal to a24. So if we want, this is the actual signal flow graph which describes these equations. So as per now, our input node is x1, input node, and x4 is our output node. So this is the signal flow graph for this particular set of differential equations. Next question is, given a block diagram, we have to obtain the transfer function using Mason's rule. So it is clear that from a block diagram, given block diagram, we cannot use Mason's rule to find the transfer function. We can use the block diagram reduction method and find the transfer function. But right now we have to use a Mason's rule and calculate the transfer function of the given system, which is represented by the block diagram. So for that, what we do is the given block diagram has to be first drawn in terms of should be represented in terms of signal flow graph. So block diagram, transfer it to signal flow graph. So that is the first thing we'll do, and then we have to obtain the transfer function. Transfer function is nothing but the ratio of Laplace transform of the output to input. That is, transfer function, say T of S is nothing but C of S by R of S, where this C of S is the output node and R of S, this is the input node. Now you can see that in this particular block diagram, we have the summing points, we have the takeaway point. So this is one takeaway point, this is the second takeaway point. These three are the summing points. So when you convert it into signal flow graph, as I have already explained in the theory, all the summing nodes as and the takeaway points has to be treated as nodes in the signal flow graph. So first we will draw the signal flow graph for this. So I have taken this block diagram here. So now we'll construct the signal flow graph. So we have the input node, okay, which is R of S. We'll write it. We have the output node, which is C of S. So this R and this C, we represent it here, R of S and C of S. Then you can observe here there are two summing points. One is this and the second one is here. But between that there is no gain. So what we do is we treat this as these two as one single node, right? Or if you want, we can treat it as two nodes and take it as one. So we will do it, we'll treat this as two different nodes for the better understanding. Okay, this is my first summing point, this is the second summing point, this is the third summing point. So what I'll do is the first summing point, this is my first summing point, this is the second summing point, okay, and last one is, this is the third summing point, this is my third summing point. So that I'll represent it here. Now between this input node R and the first summing point, there is no block. That means the branch gain, we treat it as 1, okay. So we construct this, we draw this, and the branch gain we take it as 1. Likewise, between first summing point and second summing point, there is no block, but there is a path, okay, there is no gain. So again what we do is we represent this one here. Again the branch gain is 1, right? Next we have our third summing point. I have constructed only till here. So between the second summing point and the third summing point, there is a block with gain G1. So I draw a path and I represent the branch gain as G1. So this is the third summing point. So I have not represented the takeoff point still. This is still the third summing point. Now I am going to represent the takeoff points. So this is my first takeoff point, this is the second takeoff point. Okay, I'll represent this. This is my first takeoff point, this is my second takeoff point. So those two I have to represent it now. So this is my first takeoff point, which I represent it as a node. I have one more takeoff point, that is the second takeoff point, which I represent it by one more node. So what is the gain between the third summing point and the first takeoff point? It is G2. So I draw a path, I draw a line between those two. It's nothing but a branch with gain G2. Similarly, between the first takeoff point, and the second takeoff point I have a block with the gain, that is the transfer function, which is G3. Okay, so that again I represent it by a branch whose gain is G3. And at the last, between the second takeoff point and the output node, which is C, I represent a branch with the gain 1. Now what else is remaining? Remaining is this H2, which is the feedback, H1, which is the feedback, and one more feedback from the second takeoff point to the first summing point. So that I am going to represent it now. So when we are representing this summing point, now we should be careful about the sign. So this feedback which is coming from the second one has a sign which is negative. Similarly, from the first takeoff point, whatever feedback is taken, it has a plus sign. Similarly, from the second takeoff point to the third summing point, whatever signal is coming, it is the minus sign. So that we need to incorporate while we consider the branch gain. So now I am going to draw the feedbacks. Okay, so the feedbacks, what we are going to draw is just see from the second takeoff point. This one I'll represent this first. From the second takeoff point to the third summing point, the gain is H2 with a minus sign. So how am I going to draw it? So from the second takeoff point to the third summing point, second takeoff point to the third summing point, there is a signal which is H2, okay, but the sign is minus. So I will write it as minus H2. The gain is minus H2. Next, I represent this one. From the first takeoff point to the second summing point, the gain is H1 with a plus sign. So this one, from the first takeoff point to the second summing point, right, the gain is H1. Next, the last one is from the second takeoff point to the first summing point with no gain, gain equal to 1, but with a minus sign. So here it goes, it starts from this point and at this point it ends the direction with a gain equal to minus 1. So this is the signal flow graph for this particular block diagram. So we can see that our forward paths. So when we apply Mason's rule, we should be careful regarding the forward path. We should see the loops, okay, whether there are self loops or not, whether there are any non-touching loops, all that we have to see. Okay, so for right now we will redraw the same signal flow graph, and we will try to obtain the forward path gain, feedback path gain, and we will use the Mason's gain formula in order to obtain the transfer function. So I'll just redraw the signal flow graph which I have already constructed, which I have shown you. So we have one is input R of S. We have this gain 1, and then we have one more node that is with the gain G1. Next we have one more with the gain G2. Then we have the next branch with gain G3, and finally it is to the output, that is C of S. And from there we had a feedback. This was minus H2, okay, and here this feedback, it is this was H2, okay, this is H1 with a plus sign, and we had one more. This is with a -1, and here the branch gain is 1. So this is what we had drawn it from the given block diagram. So right now what we do is we first find the forward paths, feedback paths, and then we apply. So the forward path is there is only one forward path. So the path gain, I'll write it as P1. So forward path gain is P1. So it is, so you can observe this is the one forward path with the gain 1 into G1 into G2 into G3 into 1. So the overall forward path gain, I can write it as G1, G2, G3. So this is the one forward path with the gain. I represent it by P1. Next, we'll go to identifying the loops. Okay, so loops, if you see, there are no self loops. Okay, there is no self loop. What is meant by self loop? The loop or a branch which starts and ends at the same node. So we don't have any such loops here. So next we'll go to identify the individual loops. So it has to start from a node and the end at the same node. It can have any number of branches. Okay. So see, first one of its kind is this. You can see that one branch starts here. It travels G with a gain of G2, G3 and comes back to the same point with the gain minus H2. This is one loop. One more loop is it starts from this one G1, G2 and H1. Next we have one more, that is it starts at this point, it travels here, the signal travels and again it comes back with the gain -1. So we will just write the loop gains right now. So we'll write the loop gains. Loop gains I denote it by L. Okay. So we have three loops as identified. I denote it by L1, L2 and L3. So L1 is having a gain G1, G2, H1. Next L2 is having a gain G2, G3 into minus H2 and L3 is having a gain G1, G2, G3 into -1. So that I'll write L1 has a gain G1, G2, H1. L2 has a gain G2, G3 into minus H2. So this minus, I'll write it here. Next, L3 is G1, G2, G3 into -1. So it becomes minus. So these are the three individual loops. Do you have any non-touching loops here? We don't have any non-touching loops. A non-touching loop means any two loops which doesn't share the same node. But here if you observe all three loops, you have one or the other node in common. So we cannot consider any loops as a non-touching loop pair. So directly, now what we do is we use the Mason's gain formula and we obtain the particular transfer function. Mason's gain formula is given by the overall gain or the transfer function T is equal to 1 by delta summation K Pk delta K. So here K is nothing but the number of forward paths in the signal flow graph. So for this particular example which we have considered, K is 1 because we have only one forward path. Okay, so our transfer function becomes T is equal to 1 by delta summation 1 P1 delta 1. So what is delta 1? Delta 1 is nothing but first we'll write delta. So what is delta? Delta is 1 minus sum of the individual loop gains. What is the sum of individual loop gains? It is L1 plus L2 plus L3. okay, plus sum of gain products of all possible combinations of two non-touching loops. We do not have any non-touching loops, so that we can end our delta formula with this. So what is delta? It is 1 minus L1. L1 is G1, G2, H1, okay, and L2 is minus G2, G3, H2, and L3 is minus G1, G2, G3. So this is our delta, what we have, right? So now this we can further write it as 1 minus G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G2, G3. So this is how we can write the delta. Next, delta 1. Delta 1 is, we have to see, we have to consider this delta first, and in this delta we have to see which part of the graph is not touching the first forward path. So all these loops are touching the first forward path, right? That means our delta 1 is equal to 1. So all the loops are touching the forward path. So our delta 1 is equal to 1. So using this, we obtain the transfer function. So we have our delta 1 is equal to 1. We have k is equal to 1. We have delta is equal to 1 minus G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G2, G3. So that what is P1? That is remaining. P1 is G1, G2, G3. G1, G2, G3. So our transfer function T is equal to 1 by delta. 1 by delta is 1 minus G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G2, G3. Since we don't have many forward paths, K is only 1, Pk into delta K, P1 into delta 1. What is P1? P1 is G1, G2, G3. Delta 1 is what? 1. So we can just write it as G1, G2, G3 into 1 as G1, G2, G3 itself. So this is our transfer function. When you have only one forward path, it is very easy for us to determine the given transfer function. So Mason's gain formula, T is equal to P1 delta 1 divided by delta for this particular problem. So using that, this is the transfer function we have obtained. So this transfer function is nothing but C of S by R of S. So compared to block diagram reduction method, this is somewhat easier because we can directly use the Mason's gain formula and we can obtain the transfer function for the given system. So next we'll move on to our next example. So in the next question, we have been provided with the signal flow graph. Using Mason's rule, we have to obtain the transfer function for the given system. So for this particular system, we can first see how many paths are there. So to use the Mason's formula, we need to identify forward path. We need to identify the feedback paths, nothing but we have to identify the loops, individual loops, self loops, non-touching loops, and then we have to use it in the formula. So if you see here, we have R of S as our input node, Y of S as the output node. You can observe there are two paths. One is along G1, G2, G3, G4. This is the one branch gain. The second branch gain is G5, G6, G7 and G8. We have four loops. This is the first loop, second loop, third loop and fourth loop. So if you observe, this first loop and fourth loop are non-touching. First loop and third loop are also non-touching. Similarly, L2 and L3 are non-touching. L2 and L4 are also non-touching loops. So this is the loops. So we'll write the forward paths, we will write the feedback paths as well. So our first forward path is having a gain G1, G2, G3, G4. The second forward path is having a gain G5, G6, G7 and G8. So first forward path gain, I'll write it as P1, which is G1, G2, G3, G4, and the second forward path is having a gain P2, which is G5, G6, G7, G8. Okay, next coming to the loops, we have 4 loops L1, L2, L3, L4. There is no self loops. Okay, self loop is the branch starting with same point and ending at the same node with only one branch. So L1, L2, L3, L4. L4 it's clear where it has having a gain G2 into H2. L2 is having a gain G3 into H3. Similarly, L3 is having a gain G6 into H6. L4 is having a gain G7 into H7. So L1 is G2 H2, L2 is G3 H3, L3 is G6 H6, L4 is G7 H7. So our non-touching loop pairs. Non-touching loop pairs are non-touching loops. Only two non-touching loops. Two non-touching loops are L1, L3, it is one pair, L1, L4. Similarly, L2, L3, L2, L4. So these L1 and L3 do not share a common node. Similarly, L1, L4 do not share a common node. L2, L3 do not share a common node. L2, L4 also do not share a common node. So we can write delta as delta is equal to 1 minus individual loops. Individual loops we have 4, L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 plus sum of two non-touching loops, that is L1 L3 plus L1 L4 plus L2 L3 plus L2 L4. Do we have any three non-touching loops? No. Three non-touching loops we do not have. So we end our delta formula with this. So now what is delta 1? Delta 1 is we have to consider all the loops which do not touch path 1. So if we see our signal flow graph, it is clear that L3 and L4 loops do not touch first path. Okay, do not touch first path. So we can write delta 1 is equal to 1 minus L3 plus L4. Okay, similarly, if we write delta 2, we have to exclude all the loops which touches this second path. So L3 and L4 touches second path, but L1 and L2 doesn't touch the second path. So our delta 2 is 1 minus L1 plus L2. So all this we have to write it in the you have to substitute in the Mason's formula. So now Mason's gain formula T is equal to 1 by delta summation K Pk delta K. So how many forward paths do we have here? 2. So this formula turns out to be P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 divided by delta. So we have to substitute P1, we have to substitute delta 1, P2, delta 2 and delta so that we get the required transfer function. So we write it T is equal to P1. P1 is G1, G2, G3, G4 into delta 1. What is delta 1? Delta 1 is 1 minus L3 plus L4. Okay, plus P2 delta 2. P2 is G5, G6, G7, G8 into 1 minus L1 plus L2 is delta 2 divided by delta. Delta is what? 1 minus L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 plus L1 L3 plus L1 L4 plus L2 L3 plus L2 L4. So this is what it is. So we have to substitute L3, L4, L1, L2 in this. Okay. So we substitute that. So what we get is T is equal to G1, G2, G3, G4 into 1 minus L3 plus L4. So it is 1 minus, I skip one step, I write it directly, 1 minus G6 H6 minus G7 H7 plus G5 G6 G7 G8 into 1 minus G2H2 minus G3H3 divided by delta 1 minus L1. L1 is G2H2 plus L2 is G3H3 plus L3 is G6H6 plus L7 is G7H7 plus two non-touching loops. It is G2H2 G6H6 plus G2H2 G7H7 plus G3H3 G6H6 plus G3H3 G7H7. So this is our total transfer function. So if we want, you can even simplify this particular transfer function. So we have seen one numerical on how to construct a signal flow graph with the given differential equation. Similarly, we have seen one example on how to convert a block diagram into signal flow graph and then apply Mason's gain formula, and one example on how to directly obtain the transfer function for the given signal flow graph. So this is all about this session. Thank you.